Imagine stepping onto a Royal Caribbean ship. You've got your drink, the ocean breeze is perfect, and the casino lights are calling your name. You sit at a flashy buffalo slot, ready for a big win. But here's the nightmare. While you're enjoying the buffet, the house is quietly adjusting the math. Most cruisers think luck is purely random. But after 15 years on the inside, I've seen the specific windows when machines actually loosen up and when they re-rig to drain your SeaPass account before the first port day. If you don't know these timing secrets, secret number 15 will absolutely shock you. 1. The first night embarkation trap. Most cruisers think the first night of the cruise is the luckiest. You're excited, you've got vacation cash, and the energy on the floor is through the roof. But here is the cold, hard truth from the technician's room. Embarkation night is often a complete trap. On a typical Carnival cruise leaving Miami, the casino opens the very second the ship hits international waters. Thousands of passengers rush the floor, still buzzing from that first sail-away cocktail. Internal data shows that time on device is at its absolute peak this night. People are going to play whether they win or not because they are trapped in that day 1 foot high. Because of this, the casino often sets the machines to their tightest possible hold percentages. They know you have new vacation energy, and they are more than happy to tax it. I've seen players blow their entire week's budget before the first sunrise because they didn't realize the machines were essentially in collection mode. When the floor is 100% full, the casino has zero incentive to pay out to keep people in seats. You're effectively paying an excitement tax just for being there. If you want your money to last the whole voyage, you have to resist that opening night itch. Instead of playing on night 1, treat it as a scouting mission to watch which machines are being fed heavily without hitting. Then revisit those specific cold machines on day 3 or 4. 2. The quiet port hour advantage. Have you ever wondered why the casino feels so different at 2 p.m. while the ship is docked in Cozumel? Most passengers are sweating on a shore excursion or lounging on a crowded beach. If you stay behind, you've stumbled into the quiet port hour advantage. On a major NCL ship, the floor becomes a ghost town during port calls. But the cruise line has a problem. They hate a dead casino. Passers-by heading to the buffet shouldn't see a room of dark screens and silence. To create an atmosphere of winning with very few people, the machines are often left to run their natural cycles without the central server being slammed by hundreds of simultaneous players. At 10 p.m., you're competing with 500 other people for the same jackpot cycle. During the port hours, that competition vanishes. The house needs the noise of a wind to echo through the ship to lure people back from the pool deck. I've seen technicians verify that during these low-traffic windows, the machines feel much looser because there's no need to artificially tighten the screws to manage high-volume payouts. If you play during the peak hour madness, you're just a drop in a very large bucket. Stay on board for at least 1 port day and hit the older 3-reel classic slots while the ship is quiet and the server load is at its lowest. 3. The last night payout surge. The biggest secret of the cruise industry isn't about the food. It's about the recency effect. Cruise lines are masters of psychology. They desperately want you to leave the ship with a success story, so you book your next voyage the moment you get home. This leads to what we insiders call the last night surge. I remember a specific case on an MSC ship where a cruiser played a double diamond machine for 3 straight days with nothing but frustrating near misses. Then, on the final night before docking, that same machine suddenly hit 3 small jackpots in less than 90 minutes. Was it pure luck? Maybe. But more likely, it was the result of the casino meeting its weekly hold quota early. Once the house has made its guaranteed profit for the week, the machines are often allowed to return a portion of that take to the players to ensure a happy ending. If you leave the ship having lost every single day, you'll tell everyone the casino was rigged. But if you win a few $100 on the last night, you'll tell everyone the casino was fair. That's the feeling the cruise line is buying. Save at least 40% of your total gambling bankroll specifically for the final 24 hours of the cruise when the machines are most likely to be in payout mode. 4. The technician's sweet spot. Most people don't think about the physical hardware inside a slot machine, but as an ex-insider, I can tell you it matters more than you think. There is a very specific window, usually around 9 a.m., that we call the technician's sweet spot. This is right after the morning maintenance checks and before the heavy hitters have woken up to crowd the floor. At 1 a.m., those machines have been running hot for 18 hours straight. While the math is digital, hardware glitches and thermal throttling are real. A tired machine is often sluggish and prone to validator errors that break your rhythm. But in the morning, the machines are fresh. The bill validators have been emptied, the screens have been cleaned, and the system is clean. On one ship I worked on, we would reboot specific banks of machines in the early morning hours to clear cache errors. A freshly rebooted machine is at its most responsive. Most cruisers at this hour are still nursing a hangover or fighting for a table at the buffet, leaving the best machines wide open for you. Be the first person on the casino floor after your morning coffee and stick to the machines that were recently wiped down by staff. It usually means they've just been checked. 5. Avoiding the branded cabin fund drainers. Walk into any Royal Caribbean casino, and what do you see first? It's the massive, glowing screens featuring Wheel of Fortune, Buffalo, or licensed movie themes. These are what we call cabin fund drainers. Most cruisers are drawn to these machines because they're flashy. But here is the catch. Those machines have some of the lowest payout percentages on the entire ship. The cruise line has to pay massive licensing fees to the companies that own those brands. To cover those costs, they turn the whole dial way up. On a generic machine, the house edge might be 6%. On a branded machine, it can skyrocket to 15%. Your $100 will disappear twice as fast on a branded machine as it would on a generic blazing 7-foot unit. You're literally paying an entertainment tax just for the animations. I've watched countless passengers feed $20 bills into these giant screens while the boring mechanical reel machines in the corner are quietly paying out consistent wins. The cruise line hides the math-friendly machines in low-traffic areas because they want you at the high-margin units. Look for the older, mechanical 3-reel machines tucked away near the high-limit room or the bathroom corridors. They are usually the best value on the ship. 6. The SeaPass card, reward manipulation. There is a massive debate about whether using your SeaPass card affects your luck. Let me clear this up. It doesn't change the RNG, but it does change how the casino treats you mid-cruise. If you play without your card, you are effectively a ghost. I once saw a player on a Princess cruise hit a $500 win, but because they weren't using their card, the casino host had no record of their playtime. They missed out on the free drinks and discounted cruise offers that would have been triggered automatically. However, there is a darker side. The system is designed to track win-back behavior. If you hit a large win while your card is in, the casino's computer knows you're up. Many insiders believe the system then adjusts the offers you receive to entice you to give that money back before you disembark. You need to win the comps, even if you lose the math. If you don't use your card, you are giving the cruise line a 100% profit margin with zero kickback to you. Always use your card to rack up points for free cruises, but the moment you hit a significant win, pull your card out and move to a different machine to break the system's tracking pattern. 7. The raffle distraction payout secret. Number 7 is the one that surprises even seasoned cruisers. It's what we call the raffle distraction. Every cruise has that big moment, the lotto draw or the slot tournament, where 200 people are crowded around a single drum, screaming and cheering. During these events, the casino's attention is entirely on the crowd. But here is the secret. To keep the lucky energy high in the room, technicians often ensure the surrounding regular machines are performing at their peak. They want the atmosphere to feel electric, while everyone is distracted by the 1 in 1,000 chance of winning the raffle. The standard machines in the quiet corners are often hitting more frequently because the server isn't being slammed by 500 people spinning at once. I've seen cases where the volume on non-tournament machines is actually turned up during the raffle to make every small win sound like a jackpot. Most passengers will stand and watch the raffle for 30 minutes, doing nothing. But that 30-minute window is actually one of the most statistically favorable times to be playing in the quietest part of the room. When the announcer starts the raffle draw on the microphone, don't go watch it. Instead, head to the furthest corner of the casino and play your favorite machine while the crowd distraction is in full effect. 8. The high visibility entrance myth. Most cruisers think the machines right at the entrance of the casino, near the main atrium or the show lounge, are programmed to pay out more to lure people in. They see someone hit a jackpot while walking to dinner and think, that's the lucky spot. But the reality is exactly the opposite. Cruise ship architects place the highest hold machines in these high-traffic corridors. They know that casual gamblers who are just passing through will drop a $20 bill on their way to a Broadway-style show. These drive-by players aren't looking for a long session. They're looking for a quick thrill. Because the volume of unique players is so high in these areas, the casino doesn't need to offer a high RTP to keep the seats warm. On an MSC ship, I once compared the entrance slots to the ones tucked behind the cashier's cage. The entrance machines were consistently set 3% tighter. You are paying for the convenience of not having to walk 10 extra feet. Never play a machine that is visible from the main atrium or a major hallway. Walk deep into the center of the casino floor where the serious players sit. 9. The after bingo cash influx. Bingo is a massive revenue generator on ships like Holland America and Carnival. When bingo ends, hundreds of people walk out with extra cash or the frustration of a near win. The casino knows exactly when the bingo session in the main lounge ends, and they prepare for the influx. This is what insiders call the fresh money window. When a crowd of 300 people enters the casino with cash in hand, the casino wants to ensure they stay. For about 45 minutes after a major bingo session or a deal or no deal game, the floor energy is curated. Dealers are instructed to be extra engaging, and the slot servers are monitored closely. If the room stays cold during this influx, the bingo winners will just go to their cabins. But if they hear bells ringing and see people winning, they'll sit down and stay. You want to be the one sitting at a machine before that crowd arrives, so you can ride the wave of loose cycles designed to capture that new money. Check your daily cruise compass or hub app for bingo times and ensure you are already seated at a high RTP machine 10 minutes before the session ends. 10. Table game dealer shift changes. If you prefer blackjack or roulette, timing is even more critical because you aren't just playing against a computer. You're replaying against a human and a rhythm. Most cruisers jump onto a table whenever they see an empty seat. But the best time to play is during a dealer shift change, typically every 20 to 40 minutes. When a new dealer steps in, the flow of the game resets. I've seen hot dealers who seem to hit 21 every single hand get replaced by a new dealer who is still finding their rhythm. More importantly, during the handover, the pit boss is often distracted by paperwork and count-ins. This is the moment when the atmosphere at the table is at its most relaxed. On a Royal Caribbean ship, a savvy player will wait for a dealer they perceive as clumsy or new to rotate in. While the house edge doesn't change, your ability to play a slower, more methodical game increases when the dealer isn't a high-speed veteran trying to clear the table. Watch a table for 2 rotations before sitting down. If the dealer is moving lightning fast and the players are losing, wait for the next tap-in before you buy in. 11. The short cruise versus long cruise payouts. Not all ships are created equal, and neither are their payout schedules. There is a massive secret regarding the duration of your cruise. If you are on a 3-day booze cruise, to the Bahamas casino is notoriously tighter than on a 14-day transatlantic crossing. On a 3-day Carnival sailing, the cruise line knows you have a limited window to spend your money. They need to maximize revenue per hour because the casino is only open for about 48 total hours. They turn the screws tight because they know the turnover of passengers is high. However, on a 14-day cruise, the time on device is much longer. If a passenger loses everything by day 3 of a 2-week trip, they won't step foot in the casino for the remaining 11 days. To prevent this, the machines on longer voyages are often set to a much friendlier RTP to keep players entertained throughout the duration of the trip. If you want to actually win, skip the weekend getaway cruises and save your gambling budget for a grand voyage or a repositioning cruise where the math favors the long-term player. 12. The video poker skill edge window. Video poker is the only game on a cruise ship where you can actually see the house edge if you know how to read a pay table. But here's the secret. Cruise lines often change the pay table on machines mid-voyage or between different decks. I've seen an NCL ship where the video poker machines on deck 6 paid 6-4, one on a flush, while the exact same machines in the smoking permitted section on deck 7 paid 5-4-1. Most cruisers don't even look at the numbers. They just see the cards. That 1-unit difference represents a nearly 2% increase in the house edge. The cruise line quietly nerfs the machines in areas where they know players are more distracted, like near the bar or in the high-action smoking zones. If you are playing video poker, you are playing a game of skill. The house wants you to be tired, slightly tipsy, and ignoring the math. Always check the full house/flush payout ratio before you hit deal. If it is not at least September 6th or August 5th, get up and find a different machine on a different deck. 13. The Hidden Whale Host Perks. You don't have to be a multi-millionaire to be treated like a whale in a cruise ship casino. Most cruisers don't realize that the casino host has a discretionary budget to keep active players happy. But here is the catch. They only trigger these perks when the casino is quiet. I've seen hosts walk the floor at 11 a.m. on a sea day, looking for anyone who has been sitting at a machine for more than an hour. They might offer you a free specialty dinner at the steakhouse or a bottle of wine. Why? Because they need the floor to look active. If you play during the 10 p.m. rush, the host is too busy dealing with complaints and high rollers to notice you. But if you play during the off-peak morning hours, you become a floor filler. The cruise line values your presence as scenery for other guests, and they will pay you in comps to stay there. Instead of asking for comps when the casino is packed, find the host during a slow afternoon and simply ask, "Are there any promotions or dinner perks available for active players today?" 14. Atmospheric payouts. This is a secret that sounds like a myth, but it's backed by internal behavioral psychology. When the ship hits rough weather and the barf bags come out in the stairwells, the casino's revenue usually plummets. Most people are in their cabins or at the medical center. To combat the gloom of a rocky ship, the casino management often wants to ensure that the few people brave enough to stay on the floor are having a high-vibe experience. There is a documented trend where near misses on slots are programmed to be more frequent during bad weather to keep the adrenaline up. While they can't change the RNG on the fly in most jurisdictions, they can trigger bonus events or hot seat drawing specifically when the ship's stabilizers are working overtime. They want to distract you from your motion sickness with the thrill of a win. If you have a strong stomach, the best time to hit the slots is when the ship is rocking, the casino is empty, and the management is desperate to keep the winning sounds going. 15. The 2 a.m. drunk drain. The final and most dangerous time to play is what we insiders call the 2 a.m. drunk drain. This is when the bars start to close and the night owls stumble into the casino for one last spin before bed. The cruise line knows that at 2 a.m., your judgment is at its absolute lowest. You've likely had a few drinks at the Quest show or the White Party, and you're playing on autopilot. This is when the casino makes its highest profit margins. People forget to hit max bet. They leave credits in the machine, and they play at double the normal speed. I've watched security footage of people literally falling asleep while hitting the spin button. The house doesn't have to do anything to win here. You are doing all the work for them. The last night surge we talked about earlier, it usually happens before midnight. By 2 a.m., the payout window has closed and the collection window has opened. Set an alarm on your phone for 1:30 a.m. The moment it goes off, cash out and go to bed. Nothing good ever happens in a ship's casino after 2 a.m. Cruising is all about the memories, but those memories are a lot better when you still have cash in your pocket. Most passengers walk into the ship's casino as donors, but now you know the 15 insider secrets to even the odds. By timing your play to the quiet port hours, avoiding those entrance traps, and running away from the 2 a.m. drunk drain, you give yourself a legitimate fighting chance. Remember, the house edge on a ship is almost always higher than on land, so play smart and take your wins early. If these secrets saved you some cash, hit that subscribe button for more cruise insider tips.